Okay, look at the notes today. Point slope form. So I've got good news and bad news about this. This is a third form, a new form that we're going to talk about. That's the bad news.
No.
But the good news is this is the last form that you're going to have to worry about. So when it comes to Algebra 1, there's 3 big forms. We talked about 2. You learned about the second one last week. This is the third one this week. And these are for linear equations. The equations that can all be put back into y equals mx plus b and graphed as a line. You can put them in standard form or this new one, which is called point slope form. And some of you have actually seen it because you worked ahead a little bit. Recall the 2 previous forms that we learned about. What were they?
Standard form.
Standard form was one of them. So it doesn't matter which one. Yep. Standard form, and then slope, intercept form. And then standard form, forget about the ax plus by equals c. Remember how we just said it was the x piece? Then the y piece equals number. X piece, then y piece equals number, with the 2 rules. What might this look like?
Equals what? Sorry.
Equals number sign. X piece plus y piece equals number sign, or x piece and y piece equals number sign. Well, an example of standard form, give me an equation, what would it look like?
2 plus 3.
2x plus 3 y equals 37. 2x plus 3y equals 37 would be in standard form because you have your x piece, your y piece, and your number. And you're not breaking either of those rules, which were what? Rule 1 said no negative x, like these other ones can be, but you don't start out negative. And then the other rule was no what?
No fraction.
No fraction. So as long as x is positive
No F words.
and there's no fractions, you're going to be all right. Then slope intercept is y equals mx plus b, if you have that written. And an example of that might be y equals what?
20x. 20 plus 7.
Plus 7. And the slope could be a fraction. You could have like 20/56 x or something. Okay, so there's standard form and what it looks like. There's slope intercept form and what it looks like. And then this new form is called point slope form. I would say that they all have a unique purpose, except for standard form doesn't really have any purpose. Y equals mx plus b has a purpose. It allows you to graph the equation. Standard form, maybe not. But point slope form has a purpose. Really what it is it's a tool. So this point slope form is a tool for letting us make an equation when the only information that we're given is some slope of a line and then some random point. So if they give you a slope and a y-intercept, you put it in y equals mx plus b. But if they give you a slope and some random point that's not the y-intercept, what you're going to use is this new form to make a line. So here's what it looks like. Y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. And I've underlined 3 pieces of this. Y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. The reason I've underlined here, here, and here is because you're going to be given a slope. Somebody's going to give you a slope. Whatever that slope is, you put it right here where the m is. It's the same letter. M means slope in y equals mx plus b. M means slope in this. Y minus y1 equals m, x minus x1. Now that other point you're going to be given. Points come in 2 parts. The x part and the y part. That's what you're going to put here and here. So they'll say, hey, I want the equation of a line with a slope of 2. So you put the 2 here. But it runs through the point 3, 4. So you'd put the 3 here and the 4 here. But we've got to get good at remembering the whole formula. Y minus y1 equals m, x minus x1. The point is that this is going to be a tool for helping us start our equation. Usually we don't want to end with this form, but it helps us get started. So let's look on the back and see our 3 examples here. Put the information in point slope form of a line with a slope of 3/5 that goes through the point 6, -2. Okay, circle 3/5. And then put the letter M next to it. That's the slope. The slope is 3/5. So put a little M right there. And it goes through the point. This line I want to make equation from goes to the point 6, -2. So I need to label, what is the 6?
X.
X. I'm actually going to put x1 because it's my x. And then the -2 is my y1. I don't really have an x2, y2 here, but for the formula, that's my m, that's my x1, and that's my y1. Now I want you to write the formula. It's y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. Underline the three parts where we're going to put the numbers in. Underline y1, m, and x1. That's where the numbers are going to go. So every time you use this form, you will see the y right here, you'll see the x right here, but you'll see number, number, number. All right, y minus y1. What's my y1?
-2.
-2. So it's y minus -2. So I'm actually going to put y plus 2. There's my y1. So my y minus y1 ends up being y minus -2, y plus 2. Equals m. What's my m?
3/5.
5. And then I'm going to go x minus x1, so it's going to be x minus 6. And I'm done. This one didn't say I need to rearrange it in a standard form. It didn't say I need to rearrange it into slope-intercept form. So just put it in point-slope
So
form
you
and
just
be
take the
done.
points out and plug it in.
And plug it in, and you're done. If all you need to do is put it in point-slope form, there it is. Point-slope form is just a great way to start, though. A lot of times you're going to have to start with point-slope form and get it into one of the other forms. All right, this one says put the information into slope-intercept form, then rearrange the pieces in the slope-intercept. So here's what you've got. I want a line that goes through 7, 5 and has a slope of 2. I know you can't quite see it there, but let's say slope of 2. All right, so label this. What is this? X1, Y1, and what's that 2? Slope, which is? So this is x1, y1, and m. All right, let's write this. What is it? What's the point slope form? Y minus. Yeah, write this thing out first. So y minus y1 equals m x1. Want to write it out because we got to get it memorized. Y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. So y minus y1 will become y minus 5. Y minus 5 equals 2
X minus 7.
Okay, this is in point slope form. Point slope form. Whenever you're in point slope form, you are always 2 steps away from being in slope-intercept form. Every time. Point slope form, if you'll do 2 things, you'll get to slope-intercept form. The first one is distribute. So take 1 step of distributing, and then you're going to be 1 step away. So 1 step right here makes the right side look like what? 2x minus 14. Y minus 5 equals 2x minus 14. That is the first step. The second step is to add 5 to each side. And then you're going to be done. You're going to be in y equals mx plus b. So add 5 to each side. And you end up with y equals. That crosses out. And you got y equals 2x minus 9. And that's it. So here we had it in point slope form. Your final answer is supposed to be in slope intercept form. So you write down here. Okay, lastly, we're not going to do a new problem. What it says is rearrange the equation from this problem and put it in standard form. So just write it down again. We're right here. Let's go ahead and write it right here. All right, if you're going to put this in standard form, what's the one piece out of these 3 pieces that needs to move?
2x.
2x. It needs to go to the other side, so what goes under it?
-2.
Minus 2x and minus 2x. And now I have, I'll write it over here to the right a little bit, negative 2x plus y equals negative 9.
But it can't be a negative.
It can't be negative. I'm breaking one of the rules. So what's our little trick for fixing it?
Switch everything.
Switch this one and this one and this one, and then you're fine. You got 2x minus y equals 9. And remember, the reason that we're allowed to do that is because it's the same as multiplying every piece on both sides by negative 1. We'll just change it. Okay, so the biggest thing that we need to know, first you've got to have this memorized, what point slope form is.
Y minus y.
Equals mx minus x1. The next thing you got to know is when you're supposed to use it. If somebody says to make an equation and they give you two things, some slope and some random point. By random point, I mean, like on the first example here, if they give you a slope and then some random xy point, make an equation with y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. If they give you some slope and the y-intercept, then just do y equals mx plus b. So there's the difference. If they give you a slope and a y-intercept, what are you going to do?
Put it in the y to mx plus b.
Put in y equals mx plus b. If they give you a slope and some random point, what are you going to do?
Point slope.
Point slope. So look for that. They're going to say, give me the equation of a line, and then you have to say, what are you giving me? Slope and y-intercept, or slope and random point? And that is it. We're going to see a lot more of that later this week.